Today is March 15th, 2020, and this is your daily Half-Life 3 update. There is no news about Half-Life 3. Notice I said 3, as in after 2, before 4, half a 6. I am aware of Half-Life Alyx. I have talked about Half-Life Alyx on this channel before. If you're curious to hear what I have to say about Half-Life Alyx, you can go back in time a little bit and look for a video that's longer than 30 seconds, and it's very likely that I talk about Half-Life Alyx on that video. Half-Life Alyx is not Half-Life 3, and I'm not just being a stickler over 3 not being in the title. In my mind, how I view it, Half-Life 3 is the sequel to Half-Life 2 Episode 2. The continuation of what I consider to be the main storyline and following Gordon Freeman, the protagonist of the series. Half-Life Alyx is just a prequel to Half-Life 2, as it takes place before the events of Half-Life 2, while following characters that were introduced in the Half-Life 2. So you couldn't. Half-Life Alyx isn't a sequel to Half-Life 1. It's a prequel to Half-Life 2. You see, you gotta understand these terms and use them correctly. So what I want is a sequel to Half-Life 2, Episode 2. Now, this doesn't mean that I'm excited. This doesn't mean that I'm not excited about Half-Life Alyx. I am excited about Half-Life Alyx, despite the fact that I'm not even going to be able to play this game. I am excited about it and looking forward to watching a walkthrough, I guess, to see what happens, because I want to at least experience it some way, rather than be spoiled in a YouTube comment about what happens. So, I'm not going to talk about Half-Life Alyx every single day. I mean, why add pointless, needless stuff to the videos? Every single day I'm not going to go, oh, there's no news about Half-Life 3, but Half-Life Alyx is a thing that exists. What would be the point of that? I will probably be talking about Half-Life Alyx again in the future, especially when Half-Life Alyx is released and we know more about the story and the plot and how specifically it connects to the other Half-Life games, because we know that it will, based on stuff that we know, and even stuff as basic as the trailer. We know that Half-Life Alyx will be dealing with key elements within the Half-Life universe, such as the G-Man, the Vortigaunts, the inevitable fate of Eli Vance. This is all stuff that was hinted at in just the very first trailer for Half-Life Alyx, and so that's going to be a whole nother thing. It's just how it ties into exactly, and then whatever we get going forward, because after this we'll most likely be getting more Half-Life games. They might not be Half-Life 3. I would hope they're Half-Life 3. I'd hope you once again get to, jump in that HEV suit and be Gordon Freeman once more. I would love that. I do think that's considerably more likely now. I mean, I always thought it was likely, but it's definitely looking more realistic. But I'm not always going to be talking about Half-Life Alyx. And honestly, what I would suggest, if you want some high quality, up to date information about Half-Life Alyx and other, Valve related games, I would just suggest going on YouTube and see if you can't find some type of Valve news network that would talk about stuff like this. I mean, I don't know if such a thing exists, but if such a thing does exist, it's probably got some high quality stuff that is definitely worth checking out there. That might be more what you're interested in. I'm talking about Half-Life 3. That's what I want to talk about. Even though I'm not really talking about it, I'm saying the same thing over and over again because there's really not much to talk about. But hopefully there will be. And when there is, I'm very much looking forward to talking about it. And that has been your daily Half-Life 3 update for March 15th,